Token Arthur was always curious about new things. One day, while flying over the jungle, he saw a group of animals exchanging goods and services using colorful stones. So he contacted Fintech CTOs from fantastic companies all around the world and collaborated with them to learn all about finance. Inspired, Arthur asked INSART CEO Vasyl to help start a podcast to share their knowledge with the world. This is what you are watching right now, Fintech CTO Podcast. Enjoy.
So hello to everyone. So this is Vasyl Soloshchuk and our next episode of Fintech CTO Podcast. And today we have a great guest, Diego Sampaio from Globalfy.
Diego Sampaio has worked directly or indirectly in over 3,000 projects for companies of various sizes and markets, developing skills and strategies, technologies, marketing and management. At the age of 16, he started his first company and sold it 7 years later to UOL, one of the largest internet companies in Brazil. He co-founded MeAdiciona.com, the largest social aggregator in Brazil and one of the top 3 in the world. In 2011, he founded Delta Card, which later became Giver, a leading solution in Brazil for loyalty programs and gift cards for franchises. He left his CEO role at Giver in 2014 to become a board member, and in 2015 he founded company Combo to help foreign entrepreneurs establish and expand their businesses in the American global market. In 2021, he founded Globalfy to provide banking services to United States companies with foreign founders, and in 2022 merged both operations under Globalfy's brand. Diego believes in building strong structures with awesome people on his team and is always open to discussing and developing new opportunities.
So Diego, hello.
Hi, thank you very much for having me here, man.
Yeah, thank you for joining. So I think we have lots of interesting topics to discuss, and actually, let's start from your story. So tell us where you're from. I think it's very important, for your story.
Sure. So I'm originally from Brazil, although I've been living here in the US since 2014, 2015. So I was born in Brazil. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 20 years. Started developing my first website was early years 2000. And then after that, developed some ventures around internet and technology.
Okay, great. So look, I'm actually from Ukraine originally, and I moved to Miami, Florida last year. And to me, as soon as I run the global business and I have clients in the US, and we have engineering teams in Ukraine, in Poland, in Romania. So it was always important, as soon as I'm not originally from the US, it was always important how actually to start doing business in the US, okay? And I think you have the answer here. So if you can explain, so what is the major challenge here and how you help people and entrepreneurs all over the world to solve this?
Sure. So, while I was living in Brazil, I always had I always wanted to sell my product in a global environment, in a global level. And it was pretty hard to do that from Brazil. It was easy to charge the customers in US dollars. It was easy to make contracts. Even the language was a problem sometimes. So it was like early 2012. I opened up a company here in the US while I was still living in Brazil. And a few years later, after the move here, I saw that the company was dissolved. We were owing taxes to the IRS because I didn't know what to do. So I thought that if I had that problem and those challenges, maybe other entrepreneurs from around the world could be facing the same challenges and problems. So we created a blog, a portal where we were sharing how to start a business in the US. And from that, we validate the idea, we validate the market, and then we create a company Combo that later on became Globalfy, where we basically provide a full platform and guidance for international founders to start a business in the US and to manage their business from anywhere in the world. So let's say an entrepreneur from Brazil or from Argentina or from Ukraine or Portugal doesn't have to learn how to do business in the US or to maintain a company in the US, and they doesn't have to travel to the US to be able to establish their entity and their banking account. Through our platform, we provide the business formation. So we register the company for them in the US. We provide a full platform and services to help them keep the company in a good standing, so keep the good compliance of the company. And earlier last year, we launched a banking service. So we became a fintech where we provide business bank accounts for US entities that are owned by non-residents. So, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, we combine technology in our platform and, of course, good customer service to help entrepreneurs from all over the world to do business, not just into the US, but to use that US entity to be able to do business in a global level.
So am I right that you already had this service and then you decided to build the technology on the top of this service and continue to expand it?
Yes. When we started the company in 2015, we came up as a service provider, let's say like a traditional accounting service. The main difference is that as I came from the technology and e-commerce background industry, we always used technology. So let's say Typeform and other simple technology to allow those entrepreneurs to do that remotely. But it was basically a service provider using technology available in the market in order to make the process easier and online. That was 2015. In 2017, we launched the first version of our portal, or customer portal. It was a really simple tool that would give a little bit more control for our customers. And since then, of course, that tool have been evolving. And last year, we really started investing into platform, into technology, to use technology as our platform of growth and not just as a tool for help on the process, for example.
Okay, great. So look, what we're trying to explore here is actually how the great companies are built, how the great products are built, and how the great entrepreneurs and personalities are built, and developed. So, and my question here, so you started, so you're looks like a technologist. You also looks like the product manager, because you identify so what are the gaps and what product and technology can be built, on the top of service and build and to provide the end solution. Yeah. So you're also an entrepreneur and CEO, so you need to manage everything. So my question here is actually, so what is your primary role? So what do you think is your primary role? And maybe it's somehow related to your skills and skill sets, and maybe some things that are more interesting for you to do. So what do you think?
For the first years of the company, I was everything. So my role was to solve any problem that would come up, right? So as entrepreneur starting the business, I would do anything that was needed. After that, I started focus more on the sales side and keep maintaining the platforms and the technology. But nowadays, as we have other 70 team members, my roles and my focus are only in growth strategy. So I handle and I work with our head of sales and our head of marketing into growth and expanding the business. At the same time, right now I have the hat of CTO or head of platform, whatever, and I manage the other managers from the development team and from the product team, helping us develop a better product for our customers. So right now I oversee product and expansion. And then my co-founder, that's the CEO, handles everything else, from the accounting for our customers, the business delivery for our customers, the banking compliance, and so on.
So look, in typical companies, in typical fintech companies, they have CEO, chief executive, on the top, let's say, and we have a CTO, chief technology, who is responsible for implementation of technology, and we have chief product officer, who is responsible for product roadmap, priorities, and it looks like you merged these three roles into one role, and in some companies, I mean, they have like 3 different persons in all these roles. In some companies, they have like maybe CTO and CPO. In some companies, you have like only one role. So tell me, so why actually you have merged everything into one role? Because I mean, it's not necessarily something bad. Maybe it's something good. So, and why is it? Can you explain us?
Sure. I think that at the end of the day comes on what I can deliver better for the company. So having the strategic knowledge or strategic challenge at the same time that I have the challenge inside the product is good, because that way I can have only one vision and I can coordinate both better than if I had 2 different professionals handling both. On the other hand, there's a lot of points where I miss having someone else to discuss some of the decisions and being able to sometimes split or to share the problem and having someone helping us. That's why what we've been doing is creating a good management team and a good team to support that. So right now we have a good project manager, we have a good product manager, and we have some good platform leads. Combining that, it makes it easier for myself to share with them the strategy, and them gonna make that happen. So although we don't have like a CTO or a CPO position, we have some key team members that help us in the process of developing that. Something else is that we integrated a lot of our platforms and technology with our services. So, for example, again, I have my COO that is also co-founder handling our operation, and then we have a head of business service. So a lot of our platforms and products come up from the opportunities that our team members internally saw, and that they're sharing that once they are having contact with our customers to myself, and then from there on we create a solution. So different than some technology companies, we are tech enabled and we are tech based, but we have a key component that is service. So we grow a lot with the feedbacks from our internal team with their contact with our customers. So let's say I have a team. We have a team of accountants and bookkeepers that they are in touch with our customers on the daily basis. So they hear a lot of our customers pain right on time that the problem is going on. So let's say if it's a problem on funding, on a problem on knowledge or guidance, or even tools. So if they need a tool to start creating invoices, for example. So as we are in deeper touch with our customers, that nurture myself and the team to be able to develop the solutions. So I mean, there's no right or wrong, there's no better or worse, but in our case, it's been working fine. I mean, we've been able to develop and to deliver technology with value for our customers, and that's our care, or that's of course our main goal.
So look, I agree with you. Like you need to structure the company, and this is very important. How the company is actually structured, it's very important for the success of the company, because if it's something unstructured way of doing something, so you can lose lots of time here. So once again, so how the company is structured? So what are the main teams that you have, and the top managers that you have?
Sure. I mean, we separate the company into. I mean, as we have 2 main business units. So one being the business service, where we do the business formation, the accounting, tax, and the compliance, and the other one being the banking service, right? So we separate the operational part into business units. So under banking, the main unit is going to be compliance. So everything regarding compliance. On the business operation, the business services operation, then we're going to have the team of that does the business formation. So everything related to relationship with the IRS and the states regarding formation of the new entities and maintain those entities. And then we have the accounting and tax area. So that's how we're going to separate in each BU. Other than that, we're going to have the product team and the project team that is shared between both BUs, of course. And then we have the head of marketing, head of sales, and head of customer service and customer experience. That although there are three different positions and three professionals within different backgrounds, we work really strong with the flywheel of the customer life cycle journey, because we use each one of our services. Like with the banking service has a lower cost of acquisition for us, but the business service has a higher lifetime value. So, I mean, we really have to understand our customers and keep them inside that cycle so we can get the best of both worlds. So attract a customer with a lower cost of acquisition, but at the same time generate more revenue with the business service.
Okay, yeah. So the banking service and business services, they support each other, and okay, I got it. So look,
something else that makes a lot of difference is that we are self-funded. So we've been always growing in a sustainable way. So, I mean, we have to hire people that are better than us in some areas. So for example, right now, I can serve the company way better as handling the product than handling the sales team. So it's more strategic for us to hire a more experienced head of sales, for example, than to hire someone that can see it as a product. As I've been developing technology and products, not for my just for my companies, but for other companies for 20 years. So, I mean, as we are self-funded, we have to choose who we're going to hire and what part we're going to invest the budget that we have at the time.
So look, I actually have this question, and as soon as we touched it, so there are like two strategies, okay? Like when you have a services business and you have a cash generation engine, let's say, so you can invest into, expanding it and then building the platform. However, maybe at some point of time, you would decide, okay, I want to scale, okay? And maybe take some investment for this scale, for maybe doing the digital transformation, maybe, rapidly expanding, and accelerating your roadmap and accelerating your growth. So can you tell us, please, so what is the triggers for the decision making, whether to continue growing organically, which can be perfectly fine, okay, or taking the outside investment?
Okay, yeah, I think that first of all, in our case, now I'm talking regarding Globalfy, our main goal here is not to create the next unicorn. That's not in the business that we are, definitely. So that's as a personal decision, as a strategic decision. We're not looking. I mean, I don't sleep every night thinking about how we're going to get. How we're going to be the next unicorn. That's not my whole goal. So that's something it's really important, of course. But after that, I think that in our case right now, our size, we are right in the middle of let's say of a seed and a Series A. So therefore, I mean, it gets to, even when I'm talking with some investors, we're at that point where the valuation will probably not be as good as it can be in, let's say, 12 or 18 months, because we just launched in the banking service. So we launched the banking service like 8 months ago. We already have over 2,500 bank accounts. The bank operation is getting there. It's getting to break even, because happily our customers are moving and transactioning a lot in the platform. So saying that, I mean, it's better for us to move on to that phase where we are generating enough cash on the banking side, but we didn't validate the product in a large scale to do that. And after that, if we decide to grow faster, raising capital, that's going to be a matter of how faster we can grow, and not to prove anymore if what we are building is sustainable or not. And I think that with the changes in the economy and the way that venture capitals are seeing their investments right now, I think that being able to prove that you're sustainable, that you've been in business for that amount of years, that you have a positive and a good EBITDA, that you're generating cash, and that cash you've been able to invest and grow, is just a matter of proving and find how faster do you want to grow, and then use that funds for for that. So I mean, that's the decision that we made. It's not that it doesn't mean that the right decision for everybody, but ourselves, myself and the co-founder, we made that decision that we're going to raise capital once we have the product validated, and therefore we can get the best value of each dollar that we're gonna raise.
Okay, got your point. Thank you. So look, speaking about the investment, actually, so what I see on the market right now, so lots of investors, they actually postpone the investments into the companies, okay, maybe for like between like 3 to 6 months. So like many of our prospective clients, okay, they're telling us, okay, hey, we were discussing some new round, but they've been postponed, okay. And we have this Silicon Valley Bank case again, okay, on the market. So Silicon Valley, speaking about Silicon Valley Bank, it's actually like a digital bank for startup, etc. And we see like many clients move to other banks, for example, to Mercury Bank, which looks like very similar to what you do. So can you explain, is this situation, like, do you have any benefits because of this situation? Can you leverage this situation somehow for your company, and what you can actually provide to the market in regards of Silicon Valley Bank situation and all this hectic time with the investment markets, etc.?
Sure. I think that what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, of course, was opportunity to everybody that's in the banking. At the same time, there is a problem to everybody that is in the neobanks or the fintech world, right? First thing that's important is that Silicon Valley Bank was not a neobank; it was like a traditional bank, right? I think that's really important to put in place. And I was reading some numbers this weekend, and the first bank that most got transfers from Silicon Valley Bank was JP Morgan and Chase. But the second one wasn't Bank of America or Wells Fargo. It was Mercury. And the third one was Rex. So even those that were moving their money from the traditional banking system were moving to neobanks, right? So I mean, I think that the main thing that shows is that nobody is as stable as we believe they are, right? Like if you ask anyone a month ago, what if they thought that Silicon Valley Bank would go out of business? I mean, everybody would say that no, they're not thinking about that. But they may be not so sure about Brex or about Mercury or about ourselves, for example. And at the end of the day, Silicon Valley Bank is the one that went out of business. So that shows that the community keep trusting in neobanks and fintechs, which is good. That brings attention to the market. The discussion regarding FDIC insured capital is really, really important. And that brings that brought huge movement of companies implementing swap accounts. So now you don't have only $250,000 as deposit. Now we can offer you $5 million, for example, or even more, which is really, really important for the business. In our case, we didn't get that many customers from Silicon Valley Bank because we are not targeting the startups or the companies that are funded by VC. Those are the companies that Mercury are targeting and Brex are targeting, and they are doing a really good job for them. In our case, we are targeting the small and the medium business, usually a sole entrepreneur or a remote freelancer or a software developer from abroad or so on, that they may not be as well served from, let's say, Mercury than they would be by ourselves. Mostly because they're going to need more guidance. They don't have a huge operation. Something else that we provide customer service in Spanish. We provide customer service in Portuguese. So for entrepreneurs from those countries or that speak those languages, that may be a really good asset for them. So our targets, it's more on the small and medium business and not so on the startups or the enterprise that raise capital. Something else that was really, really good, it was with the change that Mercury did, that now they accept companies that are registered in other countries too. So now they work with funds that are based in Cayman Islands and so on. So I think that at the end of the day, what happened was good for the development of other players, including us, of course. At the same time, that was bad as people got to discussion how those neobanks, or if they are safe enough for their money or not. And at the end of the day, the majority of neobanks, they have the same insurance that they're gonna have at Bank of America, the $250,000 FDIC insurance. I mean, at the end of the day, it's more a concern with the banking system than with traditional versus neobanks.
So I know that Mercury actually provided the kind of like Mercury Vault or something, the insurance for $3 million, which is, way higher than the average on the market. So have you launched any kind of, additional value proposition based on this situation to your clients?
Yes, with our banking partner and with bank as a service partner, we're going to have the capability of offer up to $5 million in swap and FDIC insured deposits pretty soon. Mm-hmm. But again, as our customers are general small and medium business, there's not so many with way over than $250,000 because they didn't raise capital. Mm-hmm. Again, they're more on the operational business, not on the VC funded business or something like this. So I would say that that not a feature that our customers are looking for. They are looking more for features that will help them in the management of their day-by-day small and medium operation, like the international wires that we are deploying now, invoicing platform, auto accounting platforms where it makes it easier for them to do the bookkeeping and so on. So our customers, they're more concerned on the tools that we can provide them than on the actual security of $5 million or $20 million or something like this.
Okay, I got it. So look, so we're talking about like different services that you can provide to your clients, and you have like core services, but you also add in additional services. So what kind of additional services are in most demand right now? And they can be like maybe some small details, but very important for entrepreneurs around the world.
Sure. I mean, right now, tax season is crazy, right? So of course, our compliance team has working like crazy to fulfill all the IRS liabilities and so on. Something that is really important for us is, of course, as our customers, they're always abroad. We offer some services that can help them to maintain a US presence. So we have like the mailroom service where we provide them with the virtual address for their business. We have, again, a full compliance calendar that let them know when it's gonna get their time to renew the company with the states, for example, and then they can do that process directly from our platform. A lot of our customers, they have to file the 5472 form with the IRS. We created a way to do that automatically from our platform too. So I mean, we invest a lot in those things that remove the needs of our customers to understand and to go deeper in how to maintain their company in good standing with the IRS. So even on our banking side, we are integrating that with our other tools to, let's say, have someone that have the banking operation with us. If we know that they have to fill up the form 7472, we're going to let them know in advance. So I mean, those are the small features that we are looking. Those are the side business that help us to increase our lifetime value.
So look, in this regards, it's very important for fintech platforms to have different integrations with other providers. So what kind of actually integrations have you done with what kind of third-party services?
Sure. I think that no fintech and no new bank can be a standalone solution. It's pretty hard, of course, to keep the customer just inside the platform. With open banking, we need to connect with the largest number of tools that we can connect. And it's at the same time with those connections, you come up with opportunities to increase our revenue. So, I mean, our main connections right now are with QuickBooks and all QuickBooks ecosystem. We have the connection directly with Euro, so that connects us to Xero. That's another important accounting platform. we're connected to Plaid, so that way we can connect with multiple tools. Other than that, we have the connections, of course, with compliance tools for AML, KYC, KYB. And we are just launching our mobile application that's going to bring a lot of easiness for our customers and manage their day-by-day operation. But I think that those are the main tools that we are connected right now.
So look, as soon as you have your clients all over the world, I think it's very important to have the really good KYC process. So what kind of tools do you use for that?
Yeah, we have a bunch of different tools that we use because we have different layers of KYC and KYB, right? So we have our internal KYC. After we approve that customer and make sure that it's a good fit for our banking platform, then we're going to go to our bank as a service partner, KYC, KYB. And then, of course, then we have the AML through the banking, through the business, to the bank as a service platform, and to our platform. So we use tools like Alloy for KYC, KYB, Unit 21 for AML. We use a lot of different, as we have customers in different countries. I mean, not all countries, they have information that is as easy to be tracked as if someone's based in the US with their social security number. So we have to use different database to make sure that we are not dealing with something that could be illegal on that side. But again, we have our own internal KYC, KYB on top of what we have on the banking and the banking service provider. And we use that not just to make sure that we are onboarding who they tell they are, but that we are onboarding the right customer for our platform, so that we can really deliver value to those customers.
So for background checks, do you have, as you mentioned, do you have any partners, in the major locations?
In some specific locations, yes, we do. But our largest partner for KYC and KYB is Alloy.
Okay. So look, speaking about the maybe types of clients that you have, and so we talked about, okay, they're entrepreneurs all over the world, but what kind of business do they have mostly? And maybe if you can tell us the geography, maybe some numbers, how many clients or approximate numbers?
Sure. I mean, we have right now around 2,500 active bank accounts, business bank accounts, from customers from over 81 countries, if I'm not wrong. Our main market is Latin America and South Asia and Europe. And Western Europe. Those are our main and largest markets. In terms of niches, and I mean, our customers, they are usually so digital entrepreneurs, digital influencers, a lot of software developer companies, a lot of outsourcing companies, so nearshore, offshore companies that do software development, e-commerce companies. So we have, let's say, Amazon sellers from a lot of different countries that are doing FBA here in the US, or Shopify sellers, and so on. So I would say that it's our customers are more on the, as I mentioned before, on like the sole entrepreneur or the small and medium digital native company, and that's exactly who we are targeting. Although of course we serve startups too, it's not our main focus.
So speaking again about the integrations and in regards of types of clients that you have, I mean, so from my experience and when we work with different fintech companies, a majority of fintech companies, they have some CRM on the back end, okay? And we can say this is like a specialized CRM, okay, for some specific businesses. And here we actually need to integrate the CRM like with different services. Like, for example, for financial advisors, we develop a CRM, but we need to integrate like with portfolio management systems, and we can find other examples. So as I see, you have some specific niches. And question about integration. So what do you think would be the major integrations that you may do, to actually support some specific major niches of your clients? Like you said, like Shopify, maybe Amazon, maybe some specific CRM systems. So what do you think?
In general, as a CRM, we use HubSpot for the business in total. For the banking platform, a lot of communications comes to the notification app that we develop internally. So everything that's regarding their bank accounts and so on, it's all done to the our own platform, and even some upsales opportunities, it comes from that platform. Regarding integration, at the end of the day, what we want is to have the customers spending the most of their time inside the platform. So any integration that can help us move data from outside to inside, that's of course what we're looking for. So let's say we've been talking with some really good guys regarding accounts payable and accounts receivable, some really good APIs and technologies that could allow us to deploy those new features with way less effort than if we develop those technologies internally. So I think that as a fintech, anything that we can integrate that will help the customer spend more time inside our platform is what we're looking for. Invoicing system, for example, payment processing, connecting direct to Stripe Connect to make them process their payments from their bank account and not have to go to Stripe to do that. So those things are the integrations that we're looking for.
All right. So look, as soon as you serve the global entrepreneurs, and as I understand, you also leverage this for your company, like having the team members not only sitting in the US. So can you tell us a little bit about what's your strategy, like working with offshore teams, with offshore team members?
Sure. So yeah, up to 2021, we had around 85 of our team members who were based in the US and 15% based abroad. Once we became remote first, so we closed the locations that we had here in Orlando, the office space, and we sent everybody home. We grew the team times 4. So right now, about 25% of our team members are based in the US, and the other 75 are based abroad. In our case, we work a lot with Latin America because, being Brazilian and speaking Spanish too, it makes way easier for the communication and with the time zone right here on Latin America. But we have team members in Europe too. So, it's just a matter of organizing and make sure that you are working asynchronously. From an investment point of view, there's nothing bad that I can tell about hiring abroad. From a technical point of view, there's nothing bad too that I can talk about hiring abroad. So we've been able to get really good talent from different countries and work with companies from different locations with really good, they are really cost effective, and they deliver a lot of value for our business or for our business. So at the end of the day, in our case, that we are always looking where we're going to invest the next dollar, being able to acquire and to attract talent people with high skills from abroad has been a key feature or has been really important for our growth, for sure. I know that you guys do that a lot too, right? I was recently in Web Summit in Portugal last November, and I was amazed with the number of good and talented people that I was able to meet. They are like from Ukraine, Poland, and a lot of different countries from Western Europe or from the area. So I mean, I was really impressed because it's a market that I am usually not in touch with, and I started being after I went to Web Summit. So I mean, I'm pretty excited. We have a lot of customers in that area too, software developers or individual professionals that are providing service to the US or to other countries. And I can tell that, I mean, finding people near shore or offshore has been a key point for our success.
So look, I think that during the lockdown, actually lots of companies, or maybe like almost all the companies, they had to learn how actually to be remote first. Not all the operations can be done just remotely, for sure. But for type of businesses like we do, I think we can be actually 100% remote first companies. And but anyway, you need to have some good management practices in place. So can you tell us, like, what have you learned for yourself? What are the, like, maybe a couple major tips how to run the remote first company that you learned during the recent few years of new reality?
I think that culture is what comes first to my mind. When you're dealing with team members in different time zones, in different countries, different cultures, having a really clear and well-established company culture is really, really important. Because based on that you don't have to make like smaller decisions in what you allow, what you not allow, and so on. So it makes way easier for us to find out how to manage those team members into different backgrounds, with different backgrounds. Something that has been really helpful for us, it's again being transparent with our team members. So making sure that they are really understanding where we want to go, how we've been able to grow, or what were failures from the past month, and so on. So I'll not tell you that we don't fail. Sometimes we fail, even with our peers or other managers, that it's easier for us to talk to one person, then we forgot to update another one, and then now the communication is not well established anymore. But in general, having a clear culture and being transparent with our team members and being accessible for them is really, really important. So I like to tell my team members that I'm one WhatsApp message away, or I'm one Google Chat message away. So it's pretty simple for them to reach myself, and I make sure that I'm available for them. But at the end of the day, culture is what keep us together.
Okay, so as I understood, being an open and transparent with the goals, with the achievements, with what you do, and also with the failures, and maybe doing like lessons learned, is one of the biggest part of your corporate culture, and this is very important. So can you maybe name what are the maybe other components of your current corporate culture?
Sure. I mean, we have the main characteristic of our culture is that we are here to help, of course, our customers grow, but we are here to help our team members grow. So anything that we can do to help in their self-development, we're going to do. So, for example, regardless where our team member lives and how much they are making, each one of them has $100 as a monthly self-development budget. So look, when I'm telling you, look, you have to develop yourself, and I'm paying you for you to develop yourself, it makes really clear that we expect that everybody's growing. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind. And we're pretty transparent about that. So some of the key values and key culture components that we have is continuous development. That's number one. We treat everybody, regardless of anything, the same. And we expect that them treat everybody the same way. So we are really, really strict with when a team member is not fitting the culture anymore. So we make sure that we can isolate that problem, work on that, and if it doesn't work, let that person go, for example. So I would say that respect and self-development are two key things that they are, I mean, too basic, right? It seems that's too simple, but that shows respect and that makes them feel good with us and always be looking to keep developing. So for example, we work with some team members that are not directly team members, so they work for a software development company. So let's say when we are developing our mobile app, we don't have that expertise in house. We hire and bring bring a squad from outside, but we treat that squad as if they were part of our team members. So they can join our monthly meetings. They have direct access to myself. I'm working directly with them. When we finish the contract, we make sure that we send each one of them a gift, no matter where they live. I mean, they were part of the process. So we onboard them, we show them our values, we make them feel valuable, and they deliver a lot to us. And then they go to another project. Sometimes when we request them to return, they return really happy to work in our project, regardless of the project they were working with. So I mean, those are things that are simple, but that makes everybody feel good, and I think that adds a lot to the company.
Yeah, okay, great. Like creating this kind of environment when everybody must grow, actually. So I think this is very beneficial for every company if you can create that kind of culture. So look, you mentioned that you are one message away from everyone. Yeah, like, and from other perspective, it can create, the enormous amount of communication with yourself. Okay, and from the time management perspective, so how do you deal with all these different hats that you have right now and all these channels of communications that you have?
Yeah, you know that being one message away doesn't make everybody want to talk to myself. So being one message away, at the end of the day, just show them that I'm open to listening for them. And once they get in touch with me, they always deliver something with value, or they are bringing to my attention a problem that is going on, or they bring a feedback or something that we can improve, or something that we did that really worked well and they want to thank you that. So at the end of the day, we have to treat everybody as adults, and they have to know how to use their time and to use someone else's time. So that's pretty standard. So I mean, I will tell you, man, I think that I spend more time sometimes speaking with I mean, denying meetings with external people than with my internal team. So with my internal teams, I have a 101 with all the heads that are under myself. So about five or six people that I talk every week for about an hour with them. Then I spend my time mostly working on things that come out of the meeting, learning and developing and working on discussing new implementations or what's been working, how we're going to make sure that we make that work even better or that we're going to expand that. But I mean, it's pretty simple. To be true, I don't remember a time that I had problem with someone taking my time, someone internally taking my time.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, I think personally it's very important to keep communication open with team members so they can provide you the feedback. This is valuable, not to spend time, but to know that they can do this actually. So this
Sure.
is encourage people. All right. So look, to wrap up our conversation, so one more question. So we still have this recession situation, okay? Like, geopolitical things, internal unpredictable things going on the markets here in the States and, in different regions where you have your clients as well. So what do you think, like, how the things will go on for the next half a year that you can actually leverage? So what will be the most important things for your company that you would like to leverage as a benefit, even if it's some kind of risks that we observe?
Our focus for this year is to do the basic really well. I mean, we don't have to put chat GPT in everything, right? We have to deliver the basics really well and bring a few features but features or services, whatever, that adds a lot of value each one. Not a lot of them, but a few with a higher value. So in our case, this year, we are 100% focused in delivering the best that we can with what we have and with some core implementations that we are doing. But we're not looking to do a lot of things at the same time. I think that including ourselves, some companies made mistakes during the last years, expanding a lot, try to expanding and grow too fast. And that proved, just like what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, that's not always the best way of doing things. So, I mean, I think that our goal is to just deliver what we've been doing at the maximum that we can with the maximum quality. And then I'm pretty sure that with that, we're going to get some good results.
All right. So
go back to the basics and the bread and butter. So let's get the bread and butter. Let's make this really good. Let's make this work fine. And from there, we can build something after we're sure that part's working really, really well.
So look, I really think it's a very good strategy, to focus on the basics. And I see this actually happening with many companies. They actually plan and they're optimizing their current services. They're improving their current customer services, but not like disrupting things, okay, with something very new, some new services, but actually optimizing, improving the current customer service, the current internal operations. And I think in the current environment, it's very efficient strategy that the company can actually implement. So look, Diego, thank you very much for this conversation. So it was really great to talk with you.
No, thank you very much. It was my pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity here to be talking to CTOs and entrepreneurs and everybody related to fintech. If anything, I mean, I'm pretty much open to talk to anyone. My direct email is d@globalfy.com and our website's globalfy.com. And thank you very much for your time once again.
Yes, certainly. So look, we will add all this information. So, and I encourage all everyone who actually watch us to check Globalfy services, especially if you sit somewhere outside of US, and even if you sit inside of US and want to leverage the offshore capabilities. So check Globalfy. So we will leave all the information in the description to this video, and also to everyone, to all our to everyone who watch us. So in comments below, please tell us, so what do you think you will need as a global entrepreneur going forward? So I think it will be very valuable information. So, and thank you everyone for watching this. So subscribe to our channel, Fintech Engineering, and also like this video, and see you in the next episode. So thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Still watching us and have not subscribed yet? Let's fix this. Also, don't forget to like this video and take a look at the other episodes we have. See ya!